For someone who is just beginning their walk with Christ, how would you explain to them where to start in terms of praying? Because perhaps growing up or through different messages, they've seen different ways to pray or they've been told how to pray. How would you simply explain prayer to them and how they can develop that habit to pray to God?
Prayer is our communication with God. And first thing you must realize, you have to be honest with God. He does hear his children. And we go to God, as we continually go to God, he shows us through his word and through his spirit things that we ought to know. And then as we give our request to him, we can actually see him working through us and through other people that we pray for.
When I was a young Christian, I had asked basically that same question. And I can't remember who it was that told me this, but I've remembered it ever since. They said, think of the word acts, A-C-T-S, adoration, you know, and if you kind of think of this as you're praying, it flows so much. Let God know how much we adore him. Let God know that we understand that he's God and we're not. In other words, the adoration, there should be a time that we come before the Lord and just praise him for who he is. And the second one is confession. You know, confess the sins that we've committed. And sometimes that takes a lot longer than it should, you know. But then third is thank him and just be thankful. Thank God for you know, what he's already done for us, what he's going to do, what's going on in the past and the present. And then lastly is the supplication. So ACTS, adore, confess, thanks, and supplication. Just kind of a neat little, I remember that for 40 years probably.
Probably the one thing I always start with being thankful, just thanking God for whatever comes to my mind. If I can start with a grateful heart, then that keeps me humble. So if I'm hurt or angry or whatever it is, I feel the need to pray. If I start with a thankful heart, keeps me humble. The other thing I wanted to say was the same commentary I was looking at noted that the first three things that the Lord's Prayer, the first items and three items in the Lord's Prayer are about God. They're saying about how we're honoring him, we're asking for his kingdom to come, we're asking for his will to be done. So the first three things are about God. And then the last three things are about us, what we're asking for ourselves. So don't ever start out asking. So if someone's just learning to pray, I would suggest start out with a humble, thankful heart. And then from there, other things will flow from your heart. But the Lord's Prayer was meant to be an example of how to pray. So even if you're not going to pray this particular prayer, start off with acknowledging God, being thankful to him, you know, honoring him, and then ask for whatever it is that we need. I mean, that's how I saw it.